Hi, everybody, and thank you for watching this. You know, these little talks that I'm going to give here in Facebook Live, I'm not used to actually doing this with Facebook, and I'm really liking it. I'm in touch with so many of you instantly, and the reason is because since this is the Cryon Facebook page, I want to tell you something that has happened to me. I usually don't talk about myself very much, and I don't like to, but these are things that will affect the channeling, will affect Cryon, and all the things that you've come to expect from me. We were in streaming to Raleigh, it was 2 weeks ago, and there were four remarkable channels given, all about healing, except the fourth one wasn't really a channel about healing at all. I was actually called out. I've never had this happen with Cryon before. You know, when I channel, I step aside. It isn't me. I stepped aside and let this, for 31 years, I stepped aside and let this beautiful energy come in. And in that process, and that beautiful energy has never done anything inappropriate, has always given wonderful, beautiful messages. And that is, of course, the attraction, and that's why the career is what it is. This is what I do for a living. On that Raleigh channel, especially the fourth one. By the way, I'll just tell you, you can listen to that for free. Cryon.com/free audio is where the mother load is at the moment of all the free audios for all of the years and all the months, all categorized there. They're all there to see. If you want to hear it, you can. The fourth one is Cryon calling me out. Never done this before. I will tell you what the message basically was, and then I'll tell you some of my remembrances and what's going to happen. He said, you are not using the new energy. This is funny because since 2012, most of the channelings, the book, everything, has, I think book 14, was about the new energy. It says it's not the same. It's going to be new. Expect new things, the new normal. You're hearing that now because of the virus, the new normal. That phrase, we coined that back in 2012. Everything is going to be changed. This is all of the channels I've been given. And of course, I'm sitting there doing the same old, same old. And Cryon has said, you are not taking advantage, Lee, of the energy that surrounds you. And this is where I was listening to this. I always do on the channels. I'm on the side. I'm listening. I'm not out of my body completely. I'm there listening. And he started to give the examples of what I missed. You know, this was not my best time when this happened. Of course, it's all going out live, not pre-recorded like this is. And the basic thing was this. The energy has shifted around your channeling. And he didn't say this, but he said, and you're kind of wasting it because you're not using it. And he said, what this energy is starting to be not just information, but you're creating a bubble of energy where things can happen. He said the energy around your channeling is going to not simply be the energy of exception, knowledge, love, all of that. It's going to be healing. Now, I don't see myself, and never have, as a healer. And that wasn't the message that Lee, you're now a healer. The message was that you're going to create an energy for healing allowance. I have seen this before with others. I know how this works. I'll tell you some, I want to just back up just for a moment. As I think it was only a few years ago, it was 2015, I first saw something that I didn't understand. The ones who felt this energy first, believe it or not, were the indigenous of the planet. We spend a lot of time with the indigenous. I was in Australia, and we were at Uluru, where the Ananu are the tribe there that own the rock, Ayers Rock, and work with it. So sacred. And we had 3 Aboriginal players who were Ananu on stage with us, and they were to play the didge, and they did. And I was supposed to come out on the stage alone, as I do, and begin to channel, and they were supposed to get up and walk away. I mean, that's the process and procedure, and they didn't leave. And I remember all through the channeling that they didn't leave. I could feel them behind me. They were supposed to leave. Later, I talked to the head guy, and he says, we went to leave and we couldn't move. He said the energy was so thick, all 3 of us could not get out of our chairs. This probably was the first indication that something different was happening. Now, that was 2015. According to Cryon, I had missed all of the signs. Last year, we were with the Navajo in Monument Valley, and Marietta, who was our shaman there, a beautiful woman who was our guide. Actually, Cryon gave her a reading in channel. Now, that's pretty gutsy. In other words, you don't give a shaman a reading, but here's Cryon doing it. And afterwards, she came to me and she says, that was the most healing thing that he could have ever said to me. And I didn't get it. I didn't even get it then. Then we're in Peru, and this is what Cryon talked about. Nicholas Picard, who is in the movie Humano, who was a Kiro shamanic priest. He started with our group in Peru with a ceremony. Now, the Kiros are very good. They even predate the Incas. What they're known for, metaphysically, is they can read an Akash. They took one look at Michelle Caron, who we carry as our astrologer, beautiful lady who is a master astrologer. She's in our shows all the time. They saw her, and they saw that she was a past priest and initiated her right away. They're very good at reading the Akash. He took one look at me, and I didn't understand till later. They started asking around, how old was I? They asked, how long have I been doing it? Because in the Kiro tradition, it had to be at least a generation for what they were about to do. They initiated me, and I didn't even know it. Of course I knew it. I was sitting there. They did all the things. It was 3 priests and Nicholas. They did something. I just thought I was part of an indigenous ceremony. We do a lot of indigenous ceremonies. We do despacho, all these things. I'm used to it. Wherever we go, we participate. This was an initiation, and I missed it. He had put me into an honoring situation of one of the levels of their cosmology. He saw my Akash. He saw what was going on. I didn't. In that channeling, Cryon says, you're about to start a new kind of meeting. It's going to be a healing meeting where you will posture energy and create a thickness of healing, allowance of healing, and it doesn't have to be live. You don't have to be in front of an audience. You can do that, but it is long distance. Like any metaphysical thing, a multidimensional energy can be long distance, and you know that, and it can affect us. So suddenly I'm being asked to start a whole new kind of program. I don't have to stop anything I'm doing. All of those things I can do, and those channels will continue and all that. But this one is going to be different. And he even said how it was going to be. He says you're going to do something. You're going to do 4 meetings a month. This is Cryon giving me these admonitions. You can hear it on the Raleigh channels if you wish. 4 meetings a month. He says they're going to be healing meetings where you're going to have people tune in and create the energy of healing. Now, this is my living, and I know that. And so, and Cryon is very on to everything. He's not, coming from the other side of the veil, not knowing how humans work. This is part of the thing. It's so practical. And he said, 1 out of 4 must be free. And they were really free. And what he meant by that is don't shorten the program. Don't make an abbreviated version. It's got to be exactly the energy as the ones that somebody would subscribe to in streaming. So there has to be at least 1 a month that's completely and totally free. It's one of the reasons I'm on Facebook letting you know now is whether or not you choose to purchase anything at all, I'm talking about the free stuff. Like we do on our audios on our page, this is going to be something that I invite you to tune into and to feel this energy. We're going to have a premiere of that, which is a paid premiere. It's going to be August 16, which we're going to start. That's going to the reason that's going to be it's going to be funding everything else. That's why we do it. And then it's going to be part of my living. It's part of what I do. I'll continue to travel, according to what Cryon says, but I won't be speaking to smaller groups as much as I have been. What I've been doing all these years, I'm going to go to Europe, there's thousands, but in locally domestic, I just go and speak to 100 here, 100 here, whatever, and I love it. We go to city after city after city, and I love it. And what Cryon said basically is, why are you wasting the energy with such a small group when it could be so much larger? He didn't say that. I said that. So he didn't use the word wasting. I said, maybe that's the wrong word. We're live, so maybe I messed up. But you get the point. Is that it is you can continue doing what you're doing and still service small groups and be live and enjoy it and hug and when you're allowed to and all that. But he said the real work is going to be you every single week creating a bubble of energy where people can come in, sit in a circle of 12. That's what he called it, the circle of 12, and an allowance of healing. Create an allowance that is above and beyond the normal. So it is the new normal. And people have been feeling it for these years, and I never got it. So this was something that's happened to me. It's never happened before that Cryon would say, okay, Lee, in front of everybody, we're going to change what you do. I want to share it with you first because there's so many of you. Now you know. Now you have a better idea of what's going to happen. And, of course, all of these things will be on Facebook. We like to tell you what we're doing when we're doing it. but it will have also this free component that I like to talk about, that everybody can tune in and enjoy. I know we're supposed to have no more than 10 minutes, and it's been 10 minutes, so I'm finished. However, we're going to do another live because something else has happened too, and it's happened in social media, and I want to discuss that, and I want to tell you because you'll enjoy it. I won't give it away now because the next Facebook Live we do, I'll probably be talking about that too. Things are changing here. They're changing for me. They're changing with the energy. They're changing for you. And that is the whole, I would say, subject of crime, this new normal. We are seeing enhancements in what we can do and how we feel and the solutions to life's problems. It's all coming, and it's coming so powerfully in certain ways if we're willing to look and if we have free choice to accept it or not. Thanks for watching.